Good morning. I am Shubhanshu Soni, faculty in People's Institute of Hotel Management and Food Production Department. I'm gonna start a topic of mother sausages. So basically, we have a five mother sausages which can be make a huge quantity in a five-star hotels, and separately we can use a small portioning to make a dishes or any items for the used by the sausages. So just we start with five mother sauces. First is bechamel, then velouté, spagnol, tomato sauce, and hollandaise sauce. Before that, we can know about the stock first. Stock is basically the thin liquid which is used to add a sauce to create a flavor and aroma into the sauces. So basically, it can be at two types. First is the white stock and then brown stock. White stock is basically made with bone of any meat product like fish, chicken, mutton, etc. And for vegetable, we can use stem of any rooty vegetables and onions to create a white texture on it, and then cook on a simmer flame until the water is reduced. Then another is brown stock. Brown stock is basically uh, to make to roast bones and any vegetables. After their roasting, we can add into the water, and again it can be cooked until the reduce the water and in a simmer flame. For the aromatic, we can use bay leaf, thyme, paprika, garlic to aromate the water. And this is a like flavorsome stock. Basically, the flavorsome water we can use in a sausages for the thickening. Now, after the stock, we can first we know what is roux. Roux is basically the thickening agent of any sauce, and it is a make with the butter and flour. So the butter and flour we can use equal amount. So if we use 50% of butter, then we use 50% of flour. Cook together and stir continuously to avoid lumps. And roux is basically for three types. First is white, then blunt, then brown. The blonde roux is basically the color between the white and the brown. Not a completely white or not a completely brown. It's just the in between the white and brown. Moving forward, we can start our first sauce, bechamel sauce. Again, we use white roux. Roux is basically made up of the equal amount of butter and flour. Then we can add on the milk for the thickening the soup. So we use a milk. If not, so we can use a hot water. Also, we use a hot water, and then fish. Then add some seasoning like salt, pepper, nutmeg to addition the flavor according to the taste. Again, we use whisk continuously to avoiding the lumps. At the end, we could add the salt and pepper. Now some of the sausages made from bechamel, like first is cheese sauce. Cheese, again we make a bechamel sauce with the roux and milk and add some cheese to create a cheesy flavor. Example, white sauce cheese pasta. So after the making a white sauce cheese pasta, we can grate on top of the pasta and grill on the roast in the oven and burn the cheese to create a flavor aroma and some indulge with the cheesy flavor to the sauce and any kind of pasta. Then the cream sauce is basically adding a cream to the creamy texture, white texture. Then Alfredo is basically made up of the Parmesan cheese, lemon juice into the finishing the product. Using the half of cup cheese, that this can be a very cheesy pasta, Alfredo pasta, and the parfait and the noodles, spaghetti we can use. The best example is spaghetti Alfredo cheese pasta. It can be both the tomato and the white. Moving forward, the next sauce is velouté. Velouté, we can use blunt roux. It is also called a blunt sauce. So blunt sauce is basically made up of the dark roux. Roux is roasted, then again we cook a equal amount of butter and flour, and adding some chicken and fish stock also to indulge some flavor. Then some best example for the velouté is mushroom, creamy mushroom. So we just boil the mushroom and roast it in a pan, and then prepare a puree and add on the velouté sauce. Herbs like we can use rosemary, thyme on the sausages to create a flavor. Spices and onion spices, we can use some the tanginess flavor into the sausages. And for the onion, we can use for the white texture some creamy texture, a little bit creamy texture, and some sour texture on the sausages. Moving forward, spagnol sauce. This is made up of white, not a white, it is a made up for brown stock. Brown stock is basically brown stock we can use, and brown roux we can use. Roux is basically the same, the equal amount of butter and flour, but we can cook the until the color and the texture is little bit, not little bit, a completely dark brown. And for brown sauce, we can use the brown stock. Brown stock is basically made up of the roasted bones of the any meat product or some vegetables, and cook into the water. Spagnol step 1. Spagnol sauce is prepared for the vegetables and helps cooking the brown roux, correct? And then the dark stock such as beef and tomato puree used. Okay, then step two, the sauce is little bit simmer and around to the 2 hours until the reduction of thick brown sauce. Basically, this is a thick. Why? Because if we add something like pasta, so if we just coat it into the pasta, not a liquid texture, we use a thick texture on the sauce. So for the around 1 or 2 hours, we can cook for this spagnol sauce. The final stage to passing the sauce to the sieve. Why we sieve? Why we strain the sauce? Because it can be a contain some amount of lumps. So avoiding the lumps, we can strain by the using of strainer. We can strain the sauce and then we can use it. The remaining vegetables and lumps, to avoid the lumps, okay, you may be the edit of top to finish some garnishes like herbs and the parsley, celery. Okay, then moving forward, some examples of spagnol sauce. For the spagnol sauce, the basic example is mushroom. We can add on it to create a flavor. Then we go forward the hollandaise sauce. This is a butter sauce. Hollandaise sauce is emulsification of butter and lemon juice, egg yolk, and used for the emulsification agent, usually to the salt and peppercorn to use on the taste. So basically, for the hollandaise, we can use egg yolk. Okay, so egg yolk, we can beat egg yolk and add lemon juice. This is process, the beating of egg and lemon juice together is called a emulsification. The process is called emulsification. Butter into the add for the creating a flavor and the aroma too. And season with some mustard seeds, add salt, pepper. Mustard seed we can use for the coloring, for the yellow in color. So emulsification is basically the main procedure to make a Hollandaise sauce. This is a buttery taste sauce. Then for the smooth, prepare a smooth and creamy texture. Flavored some the rich. This is a rich and buttery taste in nature. Additional lemon juice, and for seasoning. Seasoning like we can use the black pepper and salt, white pepper we can use. Okay. Uh, So this hollandaise sauce is served it is a warm sauce, so we can serve in warm, not a cold, not too hot. Then come with tomato. Tomato is basically the red sauce made with the red tomatoes, and adding some vegetables like carrot, onion, bay leaf, pork, meat, any kind of meat product we can use. Okay, this is a red sauce we usually use in our kitchens, and we use our five-star hotels also. It can We can add the stock also for the thickening or thin for the sauce. This is a rich thick sauce. Okay, thick sauce is basically to coat the pastas or any kind of pasta to create a flavor and aroma. Some of the slightly the we can add a sugar on and the jaggery to create a some sweet flavor on a tomato sauce. So basically, the best example of tomato sauce is red sauce pasta. We can use penne, parfait, spaghetti, and we can make first the tomato sauce and toss with some adding some like salt and peppercorn and white pepper, and then toss it to the into the pasta, and at the end we can put some herbs and the parsley, like parsley, celery, for the aroma and for the eye appeal. That's it for the sausages. And for the summarized for the topic is we have a basic five mother sauces: bechamel, velouté, espagnole, tomato, and hollandaise. Basic need for the sausages is the stock and the roux. Stock is basically for the making a make with a water. This is a thin liquid. Cook with simmer flame, and the what is roux? Roux is a equal amount of butter and flour to cook together. The example is white sauce pasta, red sauce pasta, Alfredo pasta, spaghetti pasta, ravioli. These are the kind of example of sausages. So that's all for today topic. Thank you.